He was a smooth, disciplined, and business-minded man who made millions in gambling and narcotics while maintaining powerful ties to Philadelphia's mafia. Raymond Long John Martorano wasn't as flashy as Joey Merlino or as feared as Nicky Scarfo, but his quiet power and influence made him one of the most important figures in Philadelphia's underworld. This is the true story of Raymond Martorano, the calm, calculating mobster who rose from South Philly's streets to the top of organized crime. Raymond Martorano was born in 1927 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Like many Italian-American families at the time, the Martoranos were part of South Philly's tight-knit, working-class neighborhoods. From an early age, Raymond showed ambition and intelligence qualities that would later help him navigate both business and the criminal world. By the 1950s, he was already involved in small-time rackets like gambling, shylocking, and the vending machine business that he operated with his brother John Martorano. It was through this business that he first came into contact with higher-level mob figures, including the powerful and respected boss of the Philadelphia crime family Angelo Bruno, and according to reports, Angelo Bruno, known as the Gentle Don, ran the Philadelphia Mafia from 1959 until his assassination in 1980. He preferred quiet money-making over open violence. Under Bruno's rule, gambling, loan sharking, and numbers operations thrived and men like Raymond Martorano flourished. Martorano became a trusted earner for Bruno. He kept a low profile, avoided unnecessary attention, and always made money. Unlike many mobsters who relied on intimidation, Raymond was a businessman first. His partnerships in vending, gambling, and later narcotics made him a wealthy and influential figure in Philadelphia's criminal circles. But during the 1970s, the underworld began shifting. While Bruno discouraged violence and drug dealing among his men, many saw narcotics as the fastest route to real money. And Martorano was one of them. He built a large-scale drug network that distributed methamphetamine, cocaine, and heroin across Philadelphia and beyond. Federal investigators would later describe him as one of the city's biggest narcotics traffickers, operating through layers of distributors and using legitimate businesses as fronts. But while the money poured in, it also brought attention. And by 1980, Angelo Bruno was assassinated outside his South Philadelphia home. The hit sent shockwaves through the underworld. Bruno's peaceful leadership was replaced by chaos. Rival factions within the mob turned on each other, and old alliances crumbled. But for Martorano, the power vacuum created opportunity and danger. The new boss, Nicodemo Little Nicky Scarfo, was violent, paranoid, and unpredictable. Under Scarfo's rule, loyalty meant little, and fear ruled everything. The quiet earners from Bruno's era were suddenly targets of suspicion. And by 1982, Raymond Martorano's world came crashing down. Federal prosecutors charged him with running a major narcotics ring, one that moved large amounts of drugs across the East Coast. The case was built using undercover agents, wiretaps, and testimony from informants. Martorano was convicted and sentenced to nearly a decade in federal prison. The once powerful mobster, who had kept a steady balance between legitimate business and crime, now found himself behind bars as the Scarfo regime destroyed what was left of Bruno's organization. And according to reports, after serving 17 years in prison, Martorano was released in 1999. He was in his early 70s, but still sharp, still calculating, and still connected. He returned to Philadelphia quietly, avoiding the spotlight but keeping in touch with the remaining members of the old guard. And law enforcement believed he may have been trying to re-establish some of his old drug connections or step back into business. But unfortunately for Martorano, these operations were controlled by Joseph Uncle Joe Lee Gamby, who at the time was the acting boss of the Philadelphia crime family. Lee Gamby had a solid support network of younger figures like Joey Merlino and others, who saw some of the old-school wise guys as relics of another era. And according to reports, on January 17, 2002, Raymond Martorano was driving through Center City, Philadelphia when another vehicle pulled alongside his Lincoln. Gunmen opened fire, hitting him multiple times. Despite his wounds, Martorano tried to drive away, crashing just a few blocks later. He was rushed to the hospital but died several days afterward. He was 74 years old. Police immediately suspected the hit was mob-related, either revenge from old disputes or part of newer power struggles within the Philadelphia crime family. Nevertheless, Raymond Long John Martorano's death marked the end of an era. He represented a bridge between Angelo Bruno's old-school diplomacy and the ruthless modern mob that followed. Unlike many of his contemporaries, Martorano wasn't known for violence, he was known for business, influence, and quiet wealth. He operated in the shadows of bigger names, but his fingerprints were everywhere, from gambling parlors and vending routes to drug networks that moved millions. His life story reflects how the Philadelphia underworld evolved, from controlled rackets under Bruno to chaos and blood under Scarfo. Now, as always, we would like to know what you think about this video down below in the comments section. Also, don't forget to like the video, share the video, and if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. Until next time, peace.